So after 10 minutes, so I don't know if you can tell, but right over here is your DNA pellet. Just right there. So what you're gonna do now is you're gonna be very careful, and you're going to try to get all the liquid out without disturbing the pellet, because that is your DNA. If you pipette the pellet, you have that in your pipette, and that is not good. So I usually start out with 800 microliter, and then I put my tip on the opposite side of the pellet, and then liquid waste. Now I'm going to switch it to about like 150 to get all the other liquid out. And then when I get to that much, what I do is I switch it to about like 5 or 6 microliter, and make sure you're not grabbing your pellet. That's why I pick very tiny amount. So do you still see there's still a little bit of liquid? So I'm gonna go in one more time just around it. Most of the liquid is gone, but just to be safe, if you feel like there's a little bit more, now what I will do is I will go to the heat pad, and what I will do is just 30 seconds, no more, or maybe actually let's start with 15 seconds. You want to double check to make sure that the temperature is at 65. If not, well, the TAs will make sure that the temperature is at 65. So let it cool. While that's cooling, what you can do is you can spin this down 30 seconds more, so you can have any other residual liquid to come down, and put the hinge on the outside. And then what I will do is 30 seconds. Seconds. Top speed. I'm just gonna press. you can see more liquid because all the liquid came down. So what I will do is I will put my pipette to about 5 or 6 microliter and get the remainder of the liquid out. Okay. Now let's go to the heat pad. And what we're gonna do is 15 seconds. So this is roughly about 65. You're gonna, as soon as you put it in, put 15-second timer. You don't want to overheat it because then you won't be able to dissolve your pellet. And if you don't take out most of the liquid, what will happen is you will basically have, I would do 15 seconds more. If you don't take all the liquid out, most of the liquid out, what you will have is you won't have a purity in it. You'll have kind of like a contamination. But you don't want to overheat it, because if you can't even dissolve your pellet, you won't be able to do your PCR. Okay, that's it. I would not recommend doing, if you need to, maybe a minute, but I would not recommend doing more than a minute. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to use, so you have your water, I'm going to use about 50 microliter, and then you can always add more water if you see that your pellet is not dissolving. So I will take about 50 microliter. And I'm gonna put it with my pellet. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to come to my vortex mixer. Make sure it's on to touch. Then I usually do maybe like 3-ish. And I want this to dissolve. So you see how the pellet got out of the, because I like tapped on it. So now I'm gonna put 50 microliter of more water so I can bring the pellet down. Okay, so hoping, let's vortex this. Okay. See how it's floating in the water? All the way down there. basically you're just gonna keep doing this until it fully dissolves. Turn